وينسد كل طريق لدي وأرجو بليلي ألا من سبيل ويرتد طرفي حسيرا إلي وتنهال كل همومي علي وينسد كل طريق لدي وأرنو بليلي أنا من سبيل
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. I praise Allah who deserves all praises, bearing witness that there is no deity ever worthy of worship except Allah, bearing witness as well that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is Allah's slave and messenger, upon whom Allah had sent with blessings, light and guidance unto all mankind. Today, or this episode is very significant. The reason why it is very rare that we find some episodes or programs on the TV that shed the light on the Shia dogma and doctrine. In today's topic or today's episode, we're going to shed the light or put the Shia under scope in two subjects. The first one is Shia as history, and the second part in this program is Shia today and Shia's dogma, doctrine, belief. We don't intend, our aim is not to bash or criticize. No. Our aim is to show the truth. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَكَذَلِكَ نُفَصِّلُ الْآيَاتِ. And thus we detail the verses, the signs, وَلِتَسْتَبِينَ سَبِيلُ الْمُجْرِمِينَ, so that the way of the criminals will be verified, will be clarified. So it's a matter of intellectual clarification, intellectual discussion or a dialogue, in case someone wanted to share with us or have a dialogue with us, be it Sunni or be it Shia, etc. Anyone is welcome. Or if you want to, if you really want to send us some emails, I would like that you email me on this email, which is, as you see it, you may see it on the screen, Dimashqiya @yahoo.com. At any time on this program, or if you want to send me an email, you're so welcome. Now, the very important point, I should say, is the history of the Shia. Now, what does it mean in the word Shia? Somebody may ask this question. What does it mean? Shia. Is it a praised word or dispraised word? Linguistically, the word Shia means a group. It has no significance. The word group has no significance. And a matter of fact, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us that all people were as one nation. But afterwards, people started to, separate themselves into groups due on some misleading people, separated, distracted people from the teachings of the first prophet or the second one. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in the second chapter, Al-Baqarah, verse 213, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, كَانَ النَّاسُ أُمَّةً وَاحِدًا. Mankind was of one nation, أمة واحدة. فبعث الله النبيين مبشرين ومنذرين. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent prophets as bringers of good tidings and warners. وأنزل معهم الكتاب بالحق ليحكم بين الناس فيما اختلفوا فيه. And He sent down with them the book by truth to judge between them regarding the thing that they disputed about. وما اختلف فيه إلا الذين أوتوه من بعد ما جاءهم العلم بغيا بينهم. And none of them had differed over it, that means the scripture, except those who were given it after the clear proofs had come to them, out of jealous animosity among themselves. فَهَدَى اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا لِمَا اخْتُلِفَ فِيهِ مِنَ الْحَقِّ بِإِذْنِهِ. Then Allah guided those who believed to the truth concerning that over which they had differed. وَاللَّهُ يَهْدِي مَن يَشَاءُ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ مُسْتَقِيمٍ. And Allah guides whom He will to His straight path. This is very important. Now when God was talking about one nation, it doesn't mean He's talking about African nation. There used to be one nation, then they were separated into Asian nation, European nation, African nation. No. Middle East nation. No. Persian nation. No. He's talking about the religious nation. And that contains a group of people or even one individual. If there is no group that have the same belief of the Prophet and his companions, except one person, that person is worthy to be called nation by himself. I'm not going away too far from the Quran. No. Allah described the Prophet Ibrahim in the Quran that he was a nation. Inna Ibrahim kana ummatan lillah. He was a nation to Allah, Hanifan, inclining to Tawheed, strict Tawheed, away from Shirk. وَلَمْ يَكُنْ مِنَ الْمُشْرِكِينَ. And he was not one of those pagans. So this is a very important point. People were as one nation. So what happened? Why do we have a group called Shia? As I said, Shia means group. Group, that's all. So people, after sending prophets, they separated into many groups. And Shia. You may ask about the reason. There are many reasons. And one main reason, before any other reason, is the political favor, the political evil intention. Some groups are very minor groups, they're very little, but politically they suit the plans of the politicians. That's why they support them, they spread them. As you know, we've been reading things in the Bible that there was a Nicaea conference that the Roman king, he wanted to get people as one part, but he wanted to exclude the pure teachings of Jesus and his followers. So he had done it successfully in bringing the old pagan ideology and put it under the name of Christianity. The name of Christ, Jesus, was given to this new cult, but regarding the practicing, the pure beliefs of Jesus, they have nothing of that. The previous pagan concept, which was the Trinity, is to be put on that Christianity, which appeared nowadays to be, the doctrine that Jesus was teaching. Well, he was not teaching it. It was not his teaching. So that's what's happening. So the Roman rulers at the time of Jesus, they were interested in segregating and separating people. That suit their desire, because it's better for them. There's a policy, we say it in Arabic, فَرِّقْ تَسُدْ. Separate your people. If you're a ruler, separate your people. You'll be reigning successfully, strongly against them. Just separate them. This is well known. Now, this was also the policy that Pharaoh was using. Pharaoh himself was using. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, إِنَّ فِرْعَوْنَ عَلَا فِي الْأَرْضِ وَجَعَلَ أَهْلَهَا شِيَعًا. Look at the word, Shia. Pharaoh exalted himself in the land and made its people into factions. Shia, factions. That's the meaning of the word Shia. Are you Sunni or Shia? Are you faction? Are you cultist or Sunni? Well, the Sunni means the one who follows the footstep, the way of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Well, so it has a benefit. It indicates to something beneficial. If you use the word Sunni, it indicates what? The following of the Prophet's Sunnah, the Prophet's way. So, some may ask this question: isn't it enough to call myself Muslim and that's all, and no need to call myself Sunni or Shia? Well, basically yes. But when we have two parties, each of which claim to be Muslim, we have to verify who's the true follower and who's the false one. If there is no other cult that claims to be following the Sunnah of the Prophet while they are following other ways, if there was no such cult, then there would have been no need to call ourselves Sunnis. There's no need for that. Now we understand the need of calling ourselves Sunnis. To the contrary of those who do not follow the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, claiming to be on the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. Let's get back to the verse, which is very important. So Pharaoh exalted himself in the land and made its people into factions, oppressing a sector among them, slaughtering their sons, and keeping their women alive. Concubines, taking them, spoiling them. Indeed, he was one of the corruptors. So he was separating, dividing, causing a division, because his people will be weaker in ruling them, in reigning them. Then Allah said, and we wanted, I'll recite it in Arabic first. إن فرعون علا في الأرض وجعل أهلها شيعا يستضعف طائفة منهم يذبح أبناءهم ويستحيي نساءهم إنه كان من المفسدين. We translated it already. ونريد أن نمن على الذين استضعفوا في الأرض ونجعلهم أئمة ونجعلهم الوارثين ونمكن لهم في الأرض ونري فرعون وهامان وجنودهما منهم ما كانوا يحذرون. And we wanted to confer favor upon those who were oppressed in the land and make them leaders and make them inheritors, and to let them establish them in the land and show Pharaoh and his minister Haman and their soldiers through those people, that which they were feared, which they feared. That means they were avoiding. They were avoiding to let these people, or to see those people becoming strong. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala persisted on showing them eventually their weakness and the strength of those people who had been weakened by them. Now, the Shia used this verse, and we wanted to confer favor upon those who were oppressed in the land and make them leaders. Say, here, that's it. So Allah is making people leaders, imams. So that's why Allah made the family of the prophets as leaders. Oh, wait a minute. No. Because if Allah decides something, if Allah ever wills something that it must be done, no one can stop Allah. And we can see that Al-Hasan, the son of Ali, became leader for 6 months only. Then he gave it up to Muawiyah. But as for Al-Hussein, Ja'far al-Sadiq, Al-Kadhim, Al-Jawad, Musa al-Kadhim, Al-Hasan al-Askari, Al-Mahdi, which was disappeared for 1,400 years until today, and it did not show up until now. All of those, they were not set to be the leaders. In fact, Shia tell us that they were hiding. They were using taqiyya. Taqiyya means to show, to speak something which is opposite to what you keep inside your heart. So that doesn't fit the situation of the imams for the Shia, because among the imams that the Shia are so proud of, and they say that those are our imams, none of them had become a leader except Ali for a period of time, after Abu Bakr for sure, after Umar, after Uthman, radiallahu anhu ajma'in, and 6 months for Al-Hasan to be a leader, which himself had given it up and granted it to Muawiyah radiallahu anhu. Now, we're not going to detail why he did it. The Shia are so upset with Al-Hasan for giving this leadership to Muawiyah, and instead of calling him Amirul Mu'mineen, the prince of the believers, they called him Mudhillul Mu'mineen, the humiliator of the believers. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, nothing can be hidden away from him. And he tests people, one individual and the other one, or by groups. The first word of Shia that occurred, it happened between the group of Ali. It had been established politically. The reason of using that word was a political reason. Period. Ali had his followers, and he had to fight Muawiyah. May Allah be pleased with both. Muawiyah saw the way that Uthman, the previous Imam, prior to Ali, he'd been killed in a very bad way. Very bad way. Muawiyah wanted to retaliate against those people who had hidden themselves, they mingled themselves in the army of Ali radiallahu anhu. Ali radiallahu anhu said, I know that those people should be brought to justice. They should be sentenced, they should be punished, but not for the period of time. Now I want you to, since I have been elected by the majority of the people, you have to give me allegiance of obedience. You have to be loyal to me, to obey me. Muawiyah said, no, I'm not going to do it until we retaliate against those people, etc., etc. This is how it happened. Ali radiallahu anhu said, well, I have to fight. And there was a fight that took place. And there were Shia for Ali, Shia for Muawiyah. But look, both, they have the same belief. I mean, they have no differences in their doctrine, in following the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. The same identical belief between the Shia of Ali and the Shia of Muawiyah. There's no difference. There was no difference as the difference we see today. Nothing at all. I mean, if we call, if you ask the Shia this question, was Ali 12th? Was Ali's belief is 12th Shia or Sunni? There was nothing. There was no such thing before that, except afterwards. Now, since Ali radiallahu anhu disagreed with Muawiyah, and there was a fight, and after that finished, no more groups, no more Shia between both. Because the son of Ali came to Muawiyah, he gave up his leadership to Muawiyah and said, here it is, that's yours, I'm not Imam anymore. So there was no reason ever for this word to be used at all after a unity took place after all. No need for that word to be used. But it had been used politically. Not politically, it has been used politically and it's over, but it had been used by some people who claim to be Muslims, but they caused this division after that. And one of them is Abdullah bin Saba, a Jewish Yemeni person who played that game, and he caused this big division. So that if someone asks you, when did this word begin? Never tell them that it began religiously by Ali or Muawiyah. No. None of them have anything to do with this. But it happened afterwards. Some other people, it suited them. They have evil intentions. They play this game and they use that word. And as a result, we have today Shia and Sunni. So we need to know, put that in your mind. The first time the word Shia was used and the second time. The first time, yes, it's justified. Because this was a fact in reality. There used to be Shia groups of Ali and Shia groups for Muawiyah. They belong to the same doctrine, to the same belief. No difference at all, even in one matter, except the matter of disagreement, political disagreement, about should Muawiyah give allegiance to Ali or not. That was the case. I hope that is understood. So the real establishment, the founder of the Shia is that Jewish person, Abdullah bin Saba, who provoked the hypocrites against Uthman, and he plotted he kept plotting until Uthman got killed, and then he caused this big division after that. Here the matter started. And he was saying to Ali, that guy, he said to Ali, you are what you are, something like this. Anta ant. It is you who are you. Well, in English it doesn't make sense, but in Arabic, when people hear it, they understand what it means. That means it is you who is God. Ali brought him. He called him to be punished, to be sentenced. Well, he's saying that Ali is God. And some people said, well, are you going to kill someone who is inviting people for loving you, family of the Prophet? Then he deported him from the land. He was deported. After that, we started to have this problem. Al-Hasan gave the leadership to Muawiyah. Those Saba'i people were not happy with what happened. They called Al-Hasan the humiliator of the believers. They hit him. And he said, when they hit him, after giving the leadership to Muawiyah, he said, Wallahi, Muawiyah is better for me than those people. They were about to kill me. If I make any kind of truce between me and Muawiyah will never be cheating me. But those people are cheating me. And it's the same, it had been done the same to Al-Hussein, the brother of Al-Hasan. Now, you can realize here that after Al-Hasan, the leadership, those Shia, they invited Al-Hussein to be the leader. Well, it was supposed to be the son of Al-Hasan, because it went from Ali to his son, Al-Hasan, then it should be going down to the son of Al-Hasan. But it had to take right direction, because it's been written in the Shia's books that after what Al-Hasan did, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala decided strictly not to let any of his sons inherit his leadership. It has to take right direction to his brother because of what he did. So the Shia are not happy with Al-Hasan for what he did, despite they believed. Until now, if you ask them, is Al-Hasan Ma'soom? That means he's sinless. He doesn't make mistakes. They say, yes, he never makes mistakes. Well, what about giving the Khilafah, the Imamah to Muawiyah? Was this mistake or not? They try to run away from giving an answer to this question. So also they cheated, they betrayed Al-Hussein. They invited him, and the confession of that is written in the books of the Shia. Like Ayan al-Shia for Muhsin al-Amin, who admitted that yes, this is what the Shia did. They invited Al-Hussein. They said to him, come, and he was in Medina. Come, we're going to support you. 18,000 or 20,000 people. Giving big oath to Al-Hussein that they're going to support him. But when he came, they fled and they forsook him. And as a result, he died. And the Ummah started to have this big dagger, big injury after these events that took place. If we have some questions or some people are calling, I would kindly ask them to just give us something like 15 to 30 minutes maximum, and we're going to open the phones for them, inshallah. Just 30 minutes, because the topic is very important, and I'd like to to detail it in the way that make people understand it, and then inshallah we'll open the chance for callings. Okay, we have one call from Dubai. Please. Okay.
Hi, الدمشقية. How are you?
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. ما شاء الله تتكلم إنجليزي واضح.
If you have any question, please. If you speak English, please address your question. If you don't speak English,
yes.
You speak English?
نعم. Yes.
Well, last time. Wait. Last time you said that النبي أولى بالمؤمنين من أنفسهم. You said this is regard أزواج أمهاتهم. This that goes regarding to the matter of what is haram to take as a husband, as a wife or not. Is that right? What you said?
Yes, أنا قلت لك في الحلقة السابقة معناته أنت من ناحية الفقهية فقط وليس كرامة الله.
Okay. So طيب.
قال تعالى ألا تنصر الله فقد نصر الله إذ أخرجه الذين كفروا ثاني اثنين إذ هما في الغار إذ يقول لصاحبه لا تحزن إن الله معنا فأنزل الله سكينته عليه وأيده بجنود لم تروها وجعل كلمة الذين كفروا السفلى وكلمة الله هي العليا والله عزيز حكيم. الأمر الأول الذي أطرحه على فضيلة الشيخ أنه أخرج أولا من قبيل الذين كفروا وقال أخرجه الذين كفروا ولم يقل أخرجوهما ولا يعقل أن يخرجوا صاحبه ويتركوه والإخراج إنما هو للنبي صلى الله عليه وآله دون صاحبه فهذا يدل على أن صاحبه لم يخرج مضطرا. الأمر الثاني أنه فوجئ بالانتقال إلى الغار إذ قال وإذ هنا للجائز هما في الغار. الأمر الثالث سماه صاحبه وهو في القرآن خلاف التابع في 19 من المواضع فتكبروا فيا صاحبي السجن وقال لصاحبه وهو يحاوره وقل له الصحابة معنى هذا معنى مذكور. الأمر الرابع أنه تعالى أنزل السكينة على النبي صلى الله عليه وآله.
Just a second, what is that? Excuse me. Hello. Well, this man, we know him. I know who he is. He's saying that the kuffar had taken the Prophet out from Mecca, but they did not take out Abu Bakr from Mecca. Therefore, I don't know what he is up to. It means to him that Abu Bakr was not with him. Is that what you meant? Is that what you meant, that Abu Bakr was not with the Prophet? هل تعني بذلك أن أبا بكر اسمح لي أنه أبو بكر لم يكن مع النبي في هجرته؟
لا، أنا أقول لك أن أبو بكر كان معه ولكن هنا الآية تدل على جمع أبو بكر وليس على مسحه لأنه قال أنزل سكينته على النبي والسكينة تتنزل على المؤمنين. لماذا لم ينزل السكينة؟ لماذا لم يقل وأنزل سكينته عليهما؟ لماذا قال وعليه؟ ومن المعلوم في آية أخرى يقول ثم أنزل الله سكينته على رسوله وعلى المؤمنين. إذن أبو بكر لماذا لم تقول الآية القرآنية وأنزل سكينته عليهما؟ الأمر الآخر يا حبيبي هذا دمشقية أنه تعالى أيد النبي وحده وقال علما أن التأييد وإنما هو للمؤمن، وقال وأيده بجنود لم تروها ولم يقل وأيدهما. الأمر بعده أنه تعالى أيد رسول الله بجنود لم يروها، وأبو بكر من المخاطبين.
Excuse
يدل على أن أبو بكر
Excuse me. So he's telling us, because I can't give him the chance to read 2 or 3 pages. The opportunities we give, the chances for communications and calling is to ask a question, but not to read for me 1-2 pages. We don't give that chance. If you have a dialogue, inshallah, we invite you for a dialogue. Come here, and we can discuss, inshallah. So his point was that Abu Bakr was not supported. Abu Bakr was not supported. Well, what does it mean to you? Inna Allaha ma'ana. He said to his friend, and you confess that was Abu Bakr. Inna Allaha ma'ana. Can you explain to me what does it mean? Allah is with us. He said to his friend, Allah is with us. If what you said was true, then why did he say with us? He didn't say with me, apart from you. Answer, please.
What?
Okay, I'll say it in Arabic. إذا كان اسمح لي الله يطول عمرك، اسمح لي. لماذا إذا كان الله لا يريد أن ينزل السكينة على أبي بكر ولا يريد كذا ولا أن ينصره ولا أن يعتبره، لماذا قال إن الله معنا؟ ما قال معي أنا بدونك من دونك يا أبو بكر؟ ليش قال معنا؟ يعني معي ومعك.
أحسنت، هذه موضع الحديث، لأن في ختام الآية بعد هذا
كيف ارفع صوتك حتى أسمعك تماما، حتى يسمعوك الناس. أيوة، لماذا قال معنا ما قال معي بدونك؟ تفضل.
طيب أحسنت، خليني أجيبك، دعني أجيب، اعطيني مجال. قال لا تحزن إن الله معنا. المعية ترجع للمؤمن، لأن في ختام الآية قال جعل كلمة الذين كفروا سفلى وهي كلمة أبو بكر، كلمة الله العليا والله عزيز حكيم. لأن أبو بكر كان يشك في النبي أنه حزن.
أنا آسف ما أجبت على السؤال. You did not answer the question. And you don't speak English, by the way. This program is supposed to be given in English. So those who want to make any comment or ask any question, they should be speaking in English. And 2 days before you were in London and now you are in Emirates. It doesn't matter. Anna, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your comment. But you failed to give the answer. The answer is, according to the verse, he said to his friend, don't be sad. Allah is with us. It's very clear. It's very clear for one who wants the truth. But for the one whose way is just like the fox way, twisting, dancing around the point, avoiding the truth, I'm sorry to say, those people should not be given the chance. Anyway, he said that tranquility was descended on him. On him. That means not also on Abu Bakr. No. That's not true. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because the tranquility, Allah is talking about the tranquility that was descended on the Prophet and his believers. That was not inside the cave. No. Allah is talking about the battle of Badr. Allah is showing us, giving us comparison between the situation of the Prophet, how weak he was when he was hiding in the cave for 1, 2, 3 days. And after that, everything was changed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala granted them support and victory. And look at the verse here. هو إِنَّا فَتَحْنَا لَكَ فَتْحًا مُبِينًا. Sorry. فأنزل الله سكينته على رسوله وعلى المؤمنين. Allah had descended His tranquility on His Prophet and on the believers. وَأَنزَلَ جُنُودًا لَمْ تَرَوْهَا, and He descended soldiers that you did not see. Where is that? In the cave? No. It was in the battle of Badr. What shall I do to you? You're taking that verse apart from the other verses that give the explanation. And also, in another verse, هو الذي أنزل السكينة في قلوب المؤمنين. Allah had descended the tranquility in the hearts of the believers. And Abu Bakr was one of the believers in the battle of Badr. What are you talking about? In another verse, لقد رضي الله عن المؤمنين. Allah is well pleased on the believers. إذ يبايعونك, when they were giving you the covenant. تحت الشجر, under the tree. And Abu Bakr was one of them. Abu Bakr was one of those who gave allegiance to the Prophet ﷺ. They promised to die for the sake of Allah, no matter what happened. فَعَلِمَ مَا فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ, Allah knew what's in their hearts. فَأَنزَلَ السَّكِينَةَ عَلَيْهِمْ, then Allah descended the sakina, tranquility on them. That's it. Look, if you did not find it in that verse, when you know Allah is with us, you find it in other 3 verses. It's there in 3 verses. And Abu Bakr was meant in these 3 other verses. Please, you have to cleanse your heart, not from dirt. Well, hatred is a dirt. You have to cleanse your heart from the dirt of hatred. Stop it. You claim that we want to, to get united, the Sunnis and the Shia, we love one another, we have to be as one nation. Come on. The task of this person, and I think those English speakers do not know, but I know him very well. His task is to throw doubts and that's all, and to show his hatred against Aisha, against Abu Bakr, against all the companions. Okay, we have another brother from Sudan. His name is Madi. Madi, assalamu alaikum.
السلام عليكم دكتور عبد الرحمن.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله.
My question is just why you receiving call from this empty man, Said Al-Raji? Why you wasted our time? We need to hear from you, not from him.
Jazakallah khairan. I have nothing to do with this. It's the control problem. It's not mine. In fact, brother, there are many people who are wondering how can this man have an easy access to our control room, to our phones, while there are many people they want to ask questions and they can't have access to us. Okay, we have a female Daraji from Iraq. We know her as well. Her name is Marwa. She has the same problem. Well, she deserves to be the wife of this man, Daraji. انقطع. Okay, line is disconnected, no problem. طيب, so let us لو تسمح توقف ولو لنصف ساعة الاتصالات بارك الله فيك حتى نكمل. Okay, we'd like to continue the topic. It's very important. So we finished this issue. Let's get back to the history of the Shia. As the history of the Shia, we have the Qaramita, Nusayris. And the Nusayris today are the rulers of Syria. And you see what they're doing there. Those people, they have no mercy. They have no conscience. They have no kindness. Their hearts are just like rocks. The easiest solution for the problems is to kill. And that's what they've been doing. They caused a lot of massacres in Yemen, in Ahsa, in Al-Kufa. And among the things that the crimes they have committed is to remove the black stone from Al-Kaaba and to run away with it. And it stayed with them for a period of time, maybe half of a century. And they were challenging. As we see today, they're ordering people to say La ilaha illa Bashar al-Assad. And they said it before. They gave that kind of challenging. And they said, if your God has existed, how did He allow us to take the black stone? Same, similar challenging. And guess what? It's really amazing that this was supposed to be a non-religious regime. But it cooperated with the most religious, falsely, regime in Iran. They're cooperating. They're as one body together. And I was wondering, the pretext, the banner of the Iranian state is La ilaha illallah, but the banner of the Syrian state is La ilaha illa Bashar al-Assad. I mean, how can those people convince us that they are really working, maintaining on having the Ummah getting united? That's a lie. But Alhamdulillah, I know we have a big injury in Syria regarding what's happening. But Alhamdulillah, those masks that they put on their head, on their faces, it had fall down. It fell down, and people can see those people on their true reality. Anyway, and also they were cooperating. The Shia were cooperating with the Tatarian people who attacked Iraq, and they caused the death of 2 million people. And how this happened? It happened when Muhammad Nasir al-Din al-Tusi, a Shiite person, became a minister of Al-Mustasim Billah, the last Abbasid caliph. He became his minister. And he was plotting with Holako, the leader of the Tatarians, that I'll call you when it's appropriate, on the right time. I'll be calling you. Come with your army. And he caused the weakness of the Iraqi army. And then he signaled to him, said to him, you can come now. It's the best chance for you to come. Holako came. And he killed almost 2 million people. And many beneficial sciences and books, beneficial books, they have been thrown from the library of Baghdad to the river of Dijla. And that deprived Muslims from having a lot of access to the matters of to the books of knowledge. Who was behind that? Nasir al-Din al-Tusi. Amazingly, in the book of Al-Khomeini, Al-Hukuma Al-Islamiyya, the Islamic State, he was praising this man, saying that this man had given a great high services to the Ummah. And the Muslims are really desperate. They are so sorry for the death of a man like this who gave the service, a great service to Islam. What was the service he had given? The death of 2 million Muslims in Iraq. And as a result, Iraq was invaded by the Tatarians. But alhamdulillah, afterwards, they admired the religion of Islam. And as a result, today, the Tatarian people, they are Muslims today. But after what? After this person, Muhammad Nasir al-Din al-Tusi, has caused the death of 2 million people. There was an interesting point that Ibn Taymiyyah had written. I found it. I read it in his book. He said, if the Jews will have access, will invade Iraq, the Shia will be their allies, supporters. I leave you with the facts that you see in Iraq nowadays. What Ibn Taymiyyah said had come true, had been fulfilled. So, those are the Shia. Even when the Uthmani leadership was present, they were supporting the Serbs, the Russians against it, till it became very weak, and they were behind that. See, those people are hypocrites. They give allegiance, support to the enemies of Islam, claiming at the same time that they're Muslims, and etc., etc. What about the Shia today? The Shia today caused a lot of fitna, as you see. The Shia state, when it was established, it caused a great war, something like 8 years war between Iran and Iraq, and maybe 1 million people died because of this. So that was the beginning blessing of the Islamic Shia state, that 1 million people in something like 8 years had died. Also, they had problem with the leaders in the Gulf, and an airplane was sent and it contains some bags that were given as a gift from the Islamic State in Iran to the pilgrims. Now, pilgrims didn't know that those bags contained C4 material, which is a type of explosion, very, very strong kind of explosives, and they wanted to explode these C4 materials in Mecca at the time of Hajj. MashaAllah. What shall I say about this so-called Islamic State? And this had been documented on the Saudi TV, and those people were exposed. So, well, I mean, what's the fish? What's going on? Is this an Islamic State? Also, some of those, also in another incident, 16 terrorists, Shia terrorists, also they were captured in Mecca, and they wanted to, and they exploded some explosions, and they were caught. All of them, 16 people, 16 of them, they were caught, and they always do that. So they are the. This is terrorism. This is terrorism. As a matter of fact, it is terrorism. And also, what do we expect from what happened in Lebanon? 10,000 Muslims, Palestinian Muslims, they got killed by a Shiite leader called Nabi Barri. He caused the killing of 10,000 people in their camps. He killed them. And also in Syria, those are Shia. The leaders today are Shia. Yes, they are super extremist Shia, more than the Iranian Shia. Yes, but they're cooperating with it. So both are Shia at the same time. They have many attacks that they have plotted, and alhamdulillah, by the awakened eye of those who have the authority over the two Haramain. Alhamdulillah, they have captured many of them, and alhamdulillah, they can't have access easily to do such thing. So killing the pilgrims, is this an Islamic thing? I mean, and also there's a tower in Al-Khubar. It had been also exploded, and people thought that the Muslims, the Sunni Muslims, are behind that, but a man called As-Saigh, he had been captured, and there used to be some, coordinations between him and the Iranian embassy in Canada, and everything was exposed. So, I mean, what's happening? This is very dangerous. Well, their fitna had not finished yet, and they're not going to stop it, but they expect to do something more than that. They say that this Mahdi, who's supposed to be coming, and he's hiding himself, etc., they say that he's not going to be ruling by Islam, but he's going to be ruling people by the ruling type of David, the Prophet Dawood. And he's going to be bringing with him a new Quran, a new book. When he will emerge, a new book will emerge with him. What do you mean by new book? So the Quran is an old book? I mean, doesn't this remind us of the Old Testament and the New Testament and the Bible? They're doing the same thing. They believe the same thing. And they believe that he has the two other parts of the Quran, while we have one part of the Quran, etc., etc. And this, I mean, how can you accept those people? I mean, to be a part of this ummah, while they also believe that the Quran is changed, and what we have today is one of three. The other two of the three are with al-Mahdi, the 12th Imam who's hiding himself, etc., etc. This is the doctrine of those people. Let us shed the light on one important issue. Since they call themselves Ahlul Bayt, the people of the family of the Prophet ﷺ, we want to know, what is the meaning of Ahlul Bayt? The family, the household. The household. Let's have a look on the screen that I'm showing you here. I hope you can see it. ممكن المخرج يورينا يسلط الضوء على الشاشة. نعم. Who are Ahlul Bayt? That's a question. Let's see who are Ahlul Bayt. Now let's go to the linguistic meaning of Ahlul Bayt. I have brought the books of language, dictionaries, Arabic dictionaries, to explain or to show you what is the meaning of Ahlul Bayt. Al-Khalil, in his book called Mu'jam Maqayis al-Lugha, Volume 1, page 151, he said, Ahlur Rajuli Zawjatuh. The family of the man is his wife. وَالتَّأَهُّلُ التَّزْوِيجِ. Getting married means ta'ahul. If a person got married, that means there's a verb called ta'ahul. That means he had a family already. He has ahl. Now you may ask someone, هل أنت متأهل أو أعزب? Are you married or single? متأهل. That means you have ahl. That means you have family. This is the meaning of the word Ahlul Bayt. Let's get back to the screen. وَأَهْلُ الرَّجُلِ أَخَصُّ بِهِ وَأَهْلُ الْبَيْتِ سُكَّانُهُ. Ahlul Bayt are those who live inside the house. Ahl al-Bayt. Ahl means family, al-Bayt means house. I mean, how can you believe that your wife is not one of your Ahlul Bayt while she's living in your Bayt, in your house? I repeat the question. How can someone tell me that the wife is not of Ahlul Bayt while she is a part of the family and she is living in the house? Bayt means house. وَالْبَيْتُ التَّزْوِيجِ يُقَالُ بَاتَ الرَّجُلُ يَبِيتُ إِذَا تَزَوَّجَ. Bata, that means he stabilized himself on the attitude of marriage. So that's why we call him Bata Yabitu. So his wife is one of his Bayt. So at-ta'ahul at-tazweej. Ahlul Bayt Sukkanu. It's very clear for those who want the truth. Now there are some verses here that I would like you to see, and I'm afraid the font is too small, but I hope you can read it. Let the Quran be the judge among us. And the one who does not take the Quran as a judge for anything that he disputes with somebody else about, how can we say he's a Muslim? We have a verse here where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, and abide in your houses and do not display yourselves as was the display of the former times of the ignorance, and establish prayer and give zakah and obey Allah and His Messenger. Indeed, Allah intends only to remove from you the impurity, O Ahlul Bayt, and to purify you with the extensive purification. That's the first verse. There's here Ahlul Bayt. Allah is intending to purify you. By what? Oh Allah! The answer can be found at the beginning of this verse. Look, abide in your houses and establish prayer and give alms, zakah, and obey. Okay? Abide in your houses, establish prayer, give zakah, obey Allah and His Messenger. Verily, Allah is intending to purify you, Ahlul Bayt, by fulfilling the commands that He gave at the beginning of the verse. So, if you abide in your houses, that means don't go and show yourself just like the time of ignorances, and you establish the prayer. You are getting purified by the good actions you're making, by the fulfillment of Allah's orders given to you. That's the meaning of the verse, which those Shia take out of its context and twist its meaning. That's what they're doing. So Allah described the wives of the Prophet in this verse, Al-Ahzab. I think chapter is 39, if I'm not mistaken. The verse is 33. It's very clear. Allah was addressing His statement to the family, to the wives of the Prophet ﷺ. Ya Nisa an-Nabi. He was speaking to the wives of the Prophet, and He described them to be Ahlul Bayt. You know what the Shia say? They say there is a displacement that had taken place by the companions. They took that verse from another place, from another chapter, and they put it here deliberately. That means they changed the Quran. Guess that's what the Shia believe. That the Quran is twisted. Not twisted. Changed. A lot of verses were removed from the Quran. Well, if that would be throwing the doubt against the Quran, so how can we take our rulings, our ahkam, our halal and haram from this book, which was subject to changing? How can we trust it? There's no more trust. How can we invite the Christian and the Jew and the communist to believe in the Quran while we're telling them that the Quran has been changed? Another verse. The angels came to Ibrahim, gave his wife a good news of having a baby while she was an old woman. She said, أَأَلِدُ وَأَنَا عَجُوزٌ? How can possibly I give birth while I'm an old woman? And this man of mine, that means her husband, Ibrahim, he's an old man as well. He's aged. He's old-aged. The angel said, أَتَعْجَبِينَ مِنْ أَمْرِ اللَّهِ. They said, are you amazed at the decree of Allah? رَحْمَةُ اللَّهِ وَبَرَكَاتُهُ عَلَيْكُمْ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ. The mercy of Allah and His blessings may be upon you. أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ, family of the house, that means of the Prophet. They called the wife of Ibrahim Ahlul Bayt. Why Aisha should not be called Ahlul Bayt as well? Why do you say no? No, here is different. Yes, the angels called the wife of Ibrahim as Ahlul Bayt, but the other verse doesn't mean that Aisha is Ahlul Bayt of Rasulullah. Why? By what rule? By what rule you're doing? This is, in a matter of fact, this is a mere claim. And it's a lie. The word Ahlul Bayt was used 3 times regarding wives. So we have 2 verses already. The third one is, when the sister of Musa was so terrified about him, because he was in the custody of Pharaoh, and she was afraid that he got killed. As a matter of fact, the wife of Pharaoh loved Musa ﷺ, and he was a child, and she appealed to Pharaoh to keep only that child. Well, Pharaoh is plotting. He was killing all the children, but Allah was too plotting against him. So he was convinced by his wife, who said to him, only this one? You have been killing many children, just keep this one. He said, okay, except this one. And that was Musa. The one that Pharaoh was avoiding, fearing that his death may be on his hands. So the sister of Musa, as she saw Musa declining to accept any breast because he was hungry and there's no one to... he refused the breast of all the women. His sister interfered and she said to them, shall I guide you to someone who can take good care of him? هل أدلكم على أهل بيت يكفلونه لكم وهم له ناصحون? Shall I guide you to a good Ahlul Bayt that they will be sponsoring him for you? They accepted it. So what did she mean by Ahlul Bayt? The mother of Musa, whom the husband of that mother caused her to have this baby, this child, Musa alayhi salatu. 3 verses. There is no more word Ahlul Bayt in the Quran except in these 3 verses, and they all meant the wives. So why don't you take the Quran as your judge? Well, let's see another verse. Allah said to the Prophet Lut, إِنَّا مُنَجُّوكَ وَأَهْلَكَ إِلَّا امْرَأَتَكَ. We're going to save you and your family except your wife. Now, you may ask this question, why his wife was excluded? Is it because she doesn't deserve to be among Ahlul Bayt? No, it's because she was not a believer. She was not a believer. That's why she was exempted. It's not if she was a believer, she will not be exempted. Also, Musa said to his family, stay here when he saw fire. He said, stay here, I'll go and look for food for you. He said to his family, remain here. Scholars of the Shia, he said to his family, that means to his wife. So the family of the person is his wife. And also when the wife of the king, she plotted against the Prophet Yusuf, and she said, while she was trying to, seduce Yusuf, but when she was exposed, she said, oh, he was trying to do something against your family. What's the meaning of your family? Listen to the Quran. She said, what is the recompense of one who intended evil against your family, but that he be imprisoned or a painful punishment should take place against him? Against your family. That means against your wife, O king. So there are many verses in the Quran that prove that the wife is the family. But the Shia are still arguing against this. Still arguing against it. Now let's shed the lights on some quotations found in the Sunnah and then from the books of the Shia. Let's go there now. Narrated in Bukhari that the Prophet, whenever he entered the house of Aisha, he used to say to her, Assalamu alaykum ahlal bayti wa rahmatullah. And Aisha replies, Wa alaykum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Narration number 4793. And the narration tells us that he used to be passing by all of his other wives at the same night, saying to them the same of what he said to Aisha, Assalamu alaykum ahlal bayt. When he was asked, O Prophet, what shall we say in our prayer, in tashahhud? Assalamu ala nabiyyi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alayna wa ala ibadillah salihin. This is what he taught them to say. Assalamu, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Now, in another narration, right after that, he said, say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa azwajihi wa dhurriyyatihi. So who are Alu Muhammad? Explained in Sahih al-Bukhari, azwajihi wa dhurriyyatihi, his wives and his sons. His wives and his sons. Bukhari, narration number 3370, and Muslim, narration number 407. Still going on with the books of the Sunnah. Also, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allahumma ja'al rizqa ali Muhammadin quta. Oh Allah, let the provision of Alu Muhammad, that means the wives of Muhammad, quta, that means a bit small kind of provision. Also, when the wife of the Prophet ﷺ was accused of, abomination act or adultery, and that accusation was spreaded by the head of hypocrisy, Abdullah bin Ubay bin Salul, the Prophet stood at the pulpit and said, Who will be blaming me or apologize to me regarding a man whom his harm had reached my family and my ahli? وَوَاللَّهِ لَا أَعْلَمُ عَنْ أَهْلِي إِلَّا خَيْرًا. And I swear by Allah that I don't know about my family except good. And also in Sahih Muslim, Ahli Bayti. First he said Ahli, and then he said Ahli Bayti. So Ahl are Ahlul Bayt. That's in our book. Now, a Shia may have the right to say, well, your books are not my book, so why do you have to convince me from your book? Well, if you were not convinced from the first book, which is supposed to be my book and your book, and I mean by that the Quran, 3 verses of the Quran that use the word Ahlul Bayt. And none of them returned to the sons, but to the wives. So, I mean, neither my books will be convincing you, nor even your books, which I'm going to show you. Another wife of the Prophet, and that was Maria, the Coptic, who became Muslim. There was a Coptic man who was passing by her house, entering her house, serving her. People started to speak and accuse Maria and something. Then this man was discovered to be a man who doesn't have any sexual ability, blocked. And we know some people like that. He's blocked. Ali radiallahu anhu. And subhanallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala predestined deliberately the chaser of this man to be Ali himself, to refute those Shia. He traced him, he tracked him, and the man saw him after him. Then he climbed a tree. He was afraid. Then he fell down from the tree. As he fell down, everything was, uncovered, and people realized that the man has nothing. And for such people who are known that they have nothing, and there's no fear against them, they may be exempted from those who are usually forbidden from entering the houses of the Prophet ﷺ. Then, when the Prophet knew that, he said, Alhamdulillahi alladhi yasrifu anna su'a ahl al-bayt. Praise be to Allah that He swerved the harm from us, Ahlul Bayt. Now the Prophet's talking about who? About Maria, the Coptic, who became Muslim. Her innocence was proven by what happened. So he described Maria to be Ahlul Bayt. If our books are not sufficient for you, you don't care about our books, let's go to your books. Let's get back to the screen. The Prophet said to Abu Dharr, "I'ti ahlaka tu'jar." أرجو أن تنظروا إلى الشاشة. I would like that you have a look at the screen. "I'ti ahlaka tu'jar." That means that you exert, sexual intercourse to your family. If you do that to your family, that means your wife, to your family, you will be rewarded. Even the sexual intercourse in Islam is rewardable, because by that you're avoiding to fall in something haram. That's to be found in the book Al-Kafi, 5th volume, page 495. For sure, this narration is not talking about the sons. The Prophet is not saying to Abu Dharr, if you exert sexual intercourse to your sons, you'll be rewarded. No, he's talking about his wives, and he called them Ahl. I'ti ahlaka tu'jar. In another narration, a man came to Abu al-Hasan. Is Abu al-Hasan, I think he's Ar-Rida, one of the imams of the Shia. A man came to him and asked him, he said, "I have no ahl." He said, "Do you have concubines?" He said, "Yes." He said, "So you're not single. If you have concubines, that means you have ahl. Your ahl are your concubines. If you don't have a wife, you have concubines." So what did Abu al-Hasan, one of the imams, understood from the statement of that man who addressed it to him, saying to him, "I have no ahl"? He understood that he's talking about a wife, that he has no wife. Now let's see the confession now of Al-Khu'i, the Imam of the Shia. In his book Siratun Najah Ajwiba Wastifta'at, 1st volume, page 455, he said, "Na'am, yes, az-zawjatu min al-ahl." The wife is one of the ahl family. Yes, he didn't say no. He gave a confession. And they still argue and argue. I mean, people have arrived to the moon, and they're still those people are still making the same argument. Is the wife a part of the family? Should we call her Ahlul Bayt or should not call her Ahlul Bayt? They keep retarding us while people are going forward. No, they want to backward us. They want to backward us, talking to us until now, after 1,400 years. Is the wife family or she's not a family? Subhanallah. Anyway, we'd like to extend our appreciation and thankfulness to Al-Khou'i, who gave that confession, saying, yes, the wife is of the family. Yes. So, alhamdulillah, it's very clear. Let's get back to another one. We can see here Khomeini saying, if one of you intercourse his family, let him remember Allah. Well, come on. That doesn't talk about the son. It's talking about the wife. Ahl, the wife is al-ahl. So please, pass it over. There are many other things that need to be done for this nation. Not to keep sticking to the people, trying to prove to them that no, the wife is not of al-ahl. No. Look at the other narration here. I want you to have a look. روى الشيعة بإسناد صححوه أن رجلا من الأنصار أتى النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم فقال يا رسول الله هلكت وأهلكت فقال وما أهلك؟ قال أتيت أهلي في شهر رمضان وأنا صائم etc. etc. I'll translate it. The Shia narrated authentically, that means they authenticated this narration, that one of the people of Al-Ansar of Medina, he came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, saying to him, O Messenger of Allah, I have perished myself and perished others with me. He said, what had perished you? He said, I have intercoursed my family in Ramadan while I am fasting. Then the Prophet ﷺ said to him, اعتق رقبة. That means free a slave. As an expiation for what you did. Free a slave. The man intercoursed, sexual intercourse, with his family. What does this mean for you, O Shia? That means he intercoursed his son, his daughter, or his wife. It's very obvious, very clear. We find this narration being narrated authentically in those references. من لا يحضر الفقيه وسائل الشيعة مختلف الشيعة للحل etc. There are many evidences. One of them here also, that's the final one. A man came to Ja'far as-Sadiq and he said to him, I have Ahlul Bayt. I have Ahlul Bayt. They hear from me. Should I advise them to this matter? That means religion, faith. Then Ja'far as-Sadiq said to him, yes. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said in his book, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قُوا أَنفُسَكُمْ وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا وَقُودُهَا النَّاسُ وَالْحِجَارَةُ. The man said to him, O Ja'far as-Sadiq, I have Ahlul Bayt. They listen from me. Shall I call them for this issue, for this matter? He said, yes. Allah the Almighty said in His glorious Quran, O you who have believed, avert yourselves and your family. Keep yourself away. That means avoid it. Avoid the fire, which its fuel are men and stones. So he referred him to this verse, Ya qu ahlikum, avert your family. And the man was talking about his Ahlul Bayt. That means his wife. And in Majlis he explained that his Ahl are his wife. So see how Ja'far as-Sadiq had attached between the word Ahl and the word Ahlul Bayt. And that had been narrated in the book Al-Kafi, 6th volume, page 11. And Al-Majlisi said, it is correct narration. It is authentic narration. According to his book, Mir'at al-Uqul, volume number 9, page 153. Isn't this very clear? I mean, you want from the Quran we gave you, from our books we gave you, from your books we gave you. Are you still going to argue against that? This is fitna. And believe me, in the Sunni world today, this cult had been deliberately revived. And it caused the revival of many other cults. Because those people think that, their task is to revive every enemy to the Sunni people. And those enemies of Islam who believe that the enemy of my enemy is my friend, they desired to revive this cult, to stop the Muslim progress in their da'wah to the non-Muslims. They stopped us. I have to give my confession. They did it. But we should be wise enough. My priority is to defend Islam internally, so no one can cause division or doubts against it. I used to be debating non-Muslims, but now I'm debating those people, the Shia, because of what they cause in this ummah, and I can see that. Syria is in trouble. Lebanon is in trouble because of them. Iraq is in trouble. Iran is in trouble. Many countries in the world are in trouble because of them. Let's see some. Now, after we have mentioned this, we would like to shed the light. If we have some time, we'd like to take some phone calls, from some telephones from people who have some questions. Yes, please. Who's with us? Mimana? Oh, okay. Okay, so if you have any question, please, you may call now. So I'll give some explanations regarding this issue until we get some communications. Let's have a look at the screen. ننظر للشاشة الآن. I have a beautiful statement I've seen in the book of Ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah regarding the attitude of the Muslims towards Ahlul Bayt. What is our attitude? He said, وَيُحِبُّونَ أَهْلَ بَيْتِ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ صلى الله عليه وسلم. They love Ahlul Bayt of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. وَيَتَوَلَّوْنَهُمْ, and they show loyalty to them. وَيَحْفَظُونَ فِيهِمْ وَصِيَّةَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ. They keep the legacy of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam regarding them. When he said in a place called Ghadir Khum, أُذَكِّرُكُمُ اللَّهَ فِي أَهْلِ بَيْتِي, I remind you to fear Allah regarding my Ahlul Bayt. And that's why Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu used to say, أُرْقُبُوا مُحَمَّدًا فِي أَهْلِ بَيْتِهِ. Remember the legacy of the Prophet regarding his family. Be careful. Never break the promise. Never break the legacy of the Prophet ﷺ. That means show the utmost respect and love and honor to the family of the Prophet ﷺ. And he quotes someone who was saying, وَالَّذِي نَفْسِي بِيَدِهِ, I swear by the one upon whom my hand, my soul lies in his hand. Those Muslims will not be believers until they love you. That means, O Ahlul Bayt. Or that the Prophet was saying that, sorry. That the Prophet was saying, they will not be believers until they love you for Allah's sake and for my relationship with you, O my family. Do we have any calls? Okay, we have a brother called Yusuf from Britain. Brother Yusuf?
Hello.
Brother Yusuf? Hello? Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام.
تفضل يا يوسف.
يعني أكمل ما
Yeah, but don't make lies and tell me a while ago that you were in Emirates and after half an hour now you're in the UK. Stop making these lies. But what shall I do to you? Lying is halal in your religion. Brothers, this man called a while ago and he said that he's calling from Emirates. And now he's saying that I'm calling from the UK. I mean, come on. Please, behave yourself and don't help me. I don't want you to help me to prove that lying is halal in your religion. But you did now. Fatima from Dubai.
Yeah.
تفضلي يا فاطمة. حياكم الله. السلام عليكم.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, can I talk?
Yes, please go ahead.
According to me, I've been watching Al-Burhan, Al-Safa, and you, Al-Wisal, and I think Bayan.
Right.
As I heard all of these things, that these people, I think they're not, we should not say they're Muslim, they're kuffar actually, these Shia. And I want to tell all the ulama from Saudi Arabia that these people, they should not be enter Saudi Arabia to go to Makkah because they're najis, because they're kuffar, according to what I hear, everything from them. Even they don't recognize the Quran, you know. And even I heard one of the mu'ammim that when you go to Makkah, you have to give your back, not to give your face to the Kaaba. I mean, I got a shock, really. And I keep watching, and they're taking ayah Quran, they're using for Ali radiallahu anha and other things. I mean, I really got crazy. And I will tell you something. You know, in Africa, in Zanzibar is a place where Arabs, from Yemen and from Oman, that is about 50 years, they went there, you know. It was ruled by Oman, you know. So still now there are Arabs there. This island, it is all Muslim Sunnah, you know. And now my mother told me, said, now if you go there is Shia, they make them matam, the mosque for them. It's not a mosque, it's something. And now because they're helping them, they give them money. And most of them, they became Shias, but not Arabs. Arabs, they have their own adat taqalid, you know. We don't accept this, you know. Okay? Only these Africans were Sunnah. But because they're very poor, they give them money, they make them like a mosque for them. You know one thing, nobody knows about this thing. You should let somebody go and take pictures there. What they make, discrimination. The African Shia, they cannot enter Irani Shia, which are white. See? And it's funny. You see, they say they're Muslim, but they're discrimination between black and white. They Shia, they have their own mosque.
Okay.
And the black African, which they make them Shia, they don't let them pray in their mosque. They don't let them go.
Yeah, because they may say to you that Ahlul Bayt were not blacks, maybe.
That's what I'm saying. You should take picture and show people that, see, you're a Muslim, how can you do this black people, you know, you tell them to come to a religion and you don't accept them, you know?
Let me tell you something, sister, furthermore. They believe that the type of their nature, the very dust that they were created from, it is a special kind of dust which is placed beneath the throne of Allah. This is for the Prophet and his Ahlul Bayt and his Shia followers. Until the Day of Judgment, they're all created from special dust which is placed beneath the throne. That means, in other words, we the Sunnah people, we were created from a different dust, not that special kind of dust. As a result, we ask them this question, which they never give answer to it. What if I'm a Sunni and I want to become Shiite and I don't belong to your special dust? Why do you accept me as a Shiite? You should not accept me because my dust, my nature is different than your types, your special nature. So this is the worst segregation, which is closer to the Jewish claim. They claim that their type of creation is special one apart from the other. Anyway, I'd like to thank you very much, sister. The question I think the question was, are they kuffar or they're not kuffar? And if it's such, if the case is such, that means they're kuffar. Why do we allow them to enter here, etc., etc.?
Makkah, they should not. You should tell the ulama they should not be allowed to enter there.
Yeah.
You know?
Well,
and you know me, I'm from the ancestors of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. My family name is Al-Hamid. We are Bani Hashim. Okay? But I'm original from Yemen, but I'm a local in Dubai. Okay. They from Iran, they always put their nose up that they are Bani Hashim. We are Bani, but you don't put our nose up. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, لا فرق بين العجمي والعرب إلا بالتقوى. You know? Okay, I'm from the ancestor, but we don't be proud of ourselves that we are ancestor. You should respect that. It's not that.
Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you for your comment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
Jazakumullah. I really thank you for all this. You know, I keep watching every time, and I really keep on. But the only thing it's paining me, you know, because they get all their things in the Gulf. They give them houses, they give them everything, you know. And we have brothers and sisters in Iran. They don't have anything there.
Yeah.
You give them everything here, but there they don't have any support.
Yeah,
like it's really paining for me, you know, like this, you know.
Thank you very much, sister. Thank you very much. Yeah, I heard recently that in Iran they did not allow the Muslims to celebrate Eid al-Fitr in a big yard place or in their mosque or etc. They did not allow them, and I wonder. I mean, how possibly? Still some people saying, well, we can have a dialogue with those people. We can try to unite ourselves with them. I mean, come on. They don't allow the Sunni Muslims to have mosques in Al-Ahwaz, in the Sunni places. The Jews enjoy all kind of facilities given to them, but the Sunni Muslims don't have it. I wonder. We have Brother Muhammad from Saudi. تفضل يا أخ محمد.
Hello, السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
How are you, Sheikh?
Alhamdulillah, حياكم الله.
This is Muhammad Hamawi from Saudi Arabia, Mecca. The point that I really like Sheikh Adnan Arur, and I think he's my man in this century. But the point yesterday, he was talking about Alawiyin, that is Bataniyin, and one Alawi he called now Sheikh Taymiyyah saying something about Alawiyin and where they are more they're worse than Jews and Christians. But Sheikh, and we know that, you know, this madhab, Batani or Alawi. But Sheikh Adnan say, this is his point of view, so from Taymiyyah point of view, we take our religion from
طيب جزاك الله خيرا. Thank you, Brother Muhammad. Brother Muhammad.
Bin Taymiyyah's era, or at that time, or they are the same until the end of the war. I don't know, but...
Okay, جزاك الله خيرا, brother. I did not understand your statement clearly because your voice was not very clear. But what I understood that you may have disagreed with him about considering some Alawis that they're Muslims or etc. I think this is a matter that you have to discuss with Sheikh Adnan when he be broadcasted here in this channel. But basically, sometimes people they are hesitant to give their verdict regarding the layman people who belong formally to this cult and that cult, while they didn't know anything of it. So maybe in time he was talking about those who were praying just like normal Muslims. They are called Alawis, but they did not know anything about this madhab or this cult. Maybe this is what he meant about those specific people who did not have the knowledge about their cult, that they should not be accused of being infidels. Anyway, thank you for your comment. Okay, we have Brother Abu Abdullah from Jordan. تفضل أبو عبد الله.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله.
I'd like to just ask two questions.
تفضل.
Or I'll put spot on from what you talk with this some of the guests. He said about إذ يقول لصاحبه إن الله معنا.
لا تحزن إن الله معنا. أيوة.
نعم. فأنزل الله سكينته عليه. Now, why should be the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the one أنزل الله سكينته عليه? Could be Abu Bakr also.
I didn't want to say that. Yes, some people put that possibility.
Language say أنزل الله سكينته عليه ويده بجنود لم تروها. Could be Abu Bakr. Not only could be.
It may not be. It may not be, because when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said وَأَيَّدَهُ بِجُنُودٍ, that means the Prophet was supported with angels.
Abu Bakr also supported with angels.
No, but it should be returning primarily to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Not that means Allah doesn't talk specially about Abu Bakr apart from the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam.
Is the language say that or from the tafsir?
No, we don't want to enter to this. We don't want to stop here. That's why. Look, Yani it was possibly for me to do that, to enter this argument with him, but I want to go with him to something higher than that, which he cannot refuse.
Okay, barakallah fiqh. Another thing.
طيب تفضل. Turn off the TV, please.
Well, not me, somebody outside. Okay.
Second question.
The second question. I couldn't find in the Quran such word like Al al-Bayt. There is only Ahl al-Bayt. From my reading in the Quran, I noticed that Al used not only for family, it could be for the followers or for the family, the big family, like the tribe.
Sure. And I agree with you.
So when we say Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad, I think as-Sahaba included also.
Yeah. But there is one point that I would like to mention here, because the Prophet's explanation in the next narration in Bukhari, they asked him the question. He said, "Say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa azwajihi wa dhurriyyatihi." But I agree with you that it should not be confined, because Al al-Rajul are his supporters, just like what Allah said in the Quran. وَحَاقَ بِآلِ فِرْعَوْنَ سُوءُ الْعَذَابِ. And the punishment of Al Fir'aun was sent to them.
Sheikhuna, I think we should concentrate in this one. Not to leave the topic like Al is different than Sahaba. The Sahaba is Al Muhammad.
Anyway, I understand your point. Thank you very much. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Thank you very much. بارك الله فيك. طيب ما في عندنا بعد الصلاة ولا انتهت الحمد لله الوقت انتهى. Well, I have loved to stay with you and give more explanation to the topic, which I find it very, inshallah, informative and very beneficial to the brothers, especially those who suffer the doubts in English, to give it to them in English. In the English channels, I'd like that you take my email. Send me the questions and the doubts that they throw to you, and here is my laboratory, which I can give you, inshallah, the answers and the solutions for these doubts that they give you. Be next week with me, inshallah ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. And this topic is to be continued next week. جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
همومي علي وينسج كل طريق لدي وأرجو بليلي أنا من سبيل ويرتد طرفي حسيرا إلي وتنهال كل همومي علي وينسد كل طريق لدي وأرنو بليلي أنا من سبيل